So recently, Anthony Edwards made some ridiculous comments talking about there was no skilled players in the early days of basketball. I wouldn't even say early days. I would say something like the 90s. According to him, the only skilled player in the 90s was Michael Jordan. And post Michael Jordan, once we saw Kobe Bryant, everybody was like, wow. You guys can read the full quote there. I'm sorry, but I had to take notes for this. I obviously listed off some players outside of just Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant who were definitely skilled back in the 90s and early 80s. Here's some names for you. So we'll start off with the obvious Michael Jordan. We've got Karl Malone. We've got Hakeem Olajuwon. We've got Vince Carter, T-Mac, John Stockton, Clyde the Glide Drexler, Reggie Miller, Grant Hill, Kobe, Allen Iverson, Tim Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, Ray Allen, Allen Houston, Shawn Kemp, Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Drezon Petrovic, Steve Nash, Stephon Marbury, Peja Stojakovic, Jermaine O'Neal, and Derek Fisher. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm born in London. I'm a Nigerian man. Anthony Edwards is 23 years old, and he has every access to the archives to go and watch all of those players back then. Now, either he's dumb, deaf, blind, or stupid, or the above. I don't understand how you can be a national basketball player associated with such great legends and you disrespect all of them by only singling out the best of them, which doesn't even really make sense. And excuse me, but didn't Jordan have 6 championships and had to beat for his first one of the most skilled point guards ever in Magic Johnson? And then his second go round, he had to beat Clyde Drexler, who's another skilled player. Then he went with Danny Ainge and Charles Barkley in the 93 finals and had to beat them, along with Dan Marley, who was an extremely skilled shooter and 3-point specialist. Then when he came back from baseball, after getting beat by the Shaq and Penny Hardaway Magic, he came back the next year. His team went 72-10 in 1996 and had to beat the original Lob City tag team of Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton, who I didn't even mention on my list. And then in 1997, he had the Utah Jazz, who was led by John Stockton and Karl Malone, and then he had to beat them again in the 1998 finals for his last dance. I'm sorry, but I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that somebody associated with the game, who grew up watching basketball, whose favorite player is Kevin Durant, okay, who should understand skill, should understand that obviously there was predecessors before the people that he watched who were clearly skilled, like the names that I just listed off. So obviously, when people like Isaiah Thomas, who was one of the best point guards of his era, and Magic Johnson, who was the best point guard of his era, have to come out and humbly check you, then you know you said something ridiculous. And obviously, someone young like him is obviously choosing to be ignorant to the very game that he's dedicated his life to. I'm sorry, but I just found that ridiculous. Somebody like him to say something like that, like he doesn't have millions of followers, like he isn't on a very, very massive platform that is now internationally recognized and globally stamped as the best basketball league in the world. How have you not done your history? How have you not done your homework? How can you say something so ridiculously ignorant? I don't know. You lot tell me. Did I miss anybody? Let me know in the comments. Did I leave anybody out? You lot let me know, man. I think this comment is ridiculous. And hats off to Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson and anybody else from the golden era of basketball that should be checking someone as young as Anthony Edwards that clearly chose to be ridiculously ignorant, man.